Hello captains, it's me, TONIK TZW, still full of the worst head cold and God knows what else is wrong with me. It's had a grip of me the entire week, but I've managed to squeeze a few games in, but I haven't been able to really focus on Legends much this week. But we're out in the Tiger 59, which somebody set a record in one of the videos that I released a while ago. I've never had much luck in it, and I pretty much nearly used all of my luck up at the start of this match as well. But it just goes to prove that you can screw up and still come out on top. Now, as always, I like to watch the replays through when I've had a good game, a bad game, or when a fight appears to have been a little bit harder than it should have. And I was trying to figure out why this fight had turned into such a scrap. And the initial thing that I saw when I watched it back is that the weak flank across there on A, they just turn and run the moment the clock starts. Now, there is only one destroyer in the game. He's in division. He's in the middle of the map with his buddy in a radar cruiser. B cap is going to be hotly contested, and C cap here is going to be pushed hard. But I'm feeling confident because I've got two battleships behind me, one of which is a Brandenburg, and I'm thinking, okay, there's no torpedoes there, so we've got radar here, so if the destroyer does spawn here, which is unlikely to, as I pop my smoke and immediately get lit up on radar by the Indianapolis as he comes into range. There's no destroyer on this cap. It's there on the centre. The Brandenburg could surely come in brawling. He's got torpedoes. The cruiser there's got no torpedoes. But no, himself and the Colorado decide to slam it into full reverse. And I'm just hoping that I can hold on as I lose about 50% of my health in a first salvo, praying to God that this radar is going to run out and it's going to give me the opportunity to fire back at these guys. But they really are focusing my smoke screen with some blind fire, but we're going to try and keep them reset. I'm thinking, what on earth are these two battleships doing behind me? And I literally reckon that I'm going out of the game early because my armor is paper thin in this one. But we're getting close to detectability range, firing from a smoke screen. Excuse my sniffles. But we are going to put the shots onto there. Now, Colorado's at the back. Let's get this Indianapolis off the map. See if we can go high for the superstructure. Yes, we get rid of him. We are still spotted by the Rook, who's running secondaries. He's also going to try and pop another shot at me, I think, and put his torpedoes out here. And I'm worried about that Colorado, hoping that he's got far enough around the corner of the island at the top of C cap that he's not going to be able to shoot at me. Meanwhile, our two battleships are still in full reverse, and I'm doing what I can to chip in here, but I'm getting closer and closer to B cap rather than C cap. We get a kill assist here. Now, you'd think that what I do is I turn around and go for C cap. Now, the answer to that question is no, because there is a Colorado out there. There are also two Scharnhorst at the top end of B cap, and if they decide to try and steamroller through C, then I would be royally shafted. There is the Lahadi, Scharnhorst, Colorado out of sight, and A cap, because it was abandoned and the guys didn't even try to contest it. This battleship here is, I think, the battleship that came away from A cap, and he's not going to achieve much in this game. Excuse me. As I said, I'm still very much under the weather here, but we're trying to do what we can. So, pinging the map, saying, you know, look, they're pushing here, they're pushing this flank. Nobody else seems to be wanting to pay attention to A cap. So I'm going to basically become the sacrificial lamb. Now, the question is, am I going to be able to get this cap reset? Well, that message that popped up on the screen that said that B cap is being taken tells me that one of the Scharnhorsts is pushing into this cap. The Bismarck there is going to take a shot at me. I'm thinking I'm flat broadside to the Scharnhorst. We've got a smoke screen coming up in a few seconds. Let's see what we can do to whale on this guy. Now our cruiser there, he sailed out and put his torpedoes out, but in doing so sat flat broadside to the Scharnhorst and got himself deleted. Absolute waste of a ship. Ah, God. Honestly, here we go. This is the battleship that came the long way around, and I do believe it's going to be a trade here, because I think he's going to kill this Scharnhorst, but the other Scharnhorst that's out there is going to absolutely spank him. If only he'd have been as brave on ACAP and at least try to contest it. There we go. He's dead. I'm supporting the destroyer now, who seems to have got himself spotted from somewhere, and I'm trying to get some fire onto this Bismarck. Now, as I said, I've seen people post games in the Tiger 59 with like 180 to 200 and God knows how many K of damage, but I do say that it isn't all about damage. It is nice to have a damage record, but everything that you do in the game, everything that you do for your team, if you keep your head screwed on the right way, you'll notice I'm kiting away from BCAP while trying to whittle down this Bismarck and keep his attention on me and try to stop our destroyer getting focused. But I'm guessing the other DD out here has got him spotted. It's dangerous times here, but we do get a kill on the Bismarck, and we're going to immediately turn our attention to this Scharnhorst. Now, the fact that he's come in and turned broadside on the cap leads me to believe that he's probably firing torpedoes at that cruiser. We know we've got a cruiser off our front. There's potentially a destroyer off our front as well, or rather off our front, off our side, right-hand side towards the destroyer. But we're going to try and stay focused on this Scharnhorst, and it does look like I'm doing a decent amount of damage here at range. Sorry, I need to mute the mic and cough, guys. God, honestly. Yep, there we go. There's the destroyer. Let's try and get some shots on him, but we have got this cruiser out here as well. I actually forgot that I had radar available to me until this DD decided to start pushing, but there you go, we've lost our cruiser in the center. I can't see if he's still alive there, but our Colorado that spawned behind us on C has gone around the back end of C and is up against Red Team's Colorado, and the best thing he could have done there is not to have sailed broadside to the Colorado. It would have been to do a one-for-one trade and just ram the guy and take him out of the game, because he would have achieved so much more than what he actually did. So we're going to keep putting some pressure onto the Scharnhorst. We've turned away from the destroyer and the cruiser. We want to try and keep him focused on us, distract him long enough that he eats a torpedo from our destroyer, which was a lovely little move. I think that was a widespread there. Now, I do look at some point, I think it's right here, and I say, can you go and capture C cap? We've got B. We need a cap to basically pull back an advantage, because we are still losing the game. Red team still have a destroyer. I can support our destroyer, and if needs be, I can turn around and push back towards A and do something about this cruiser. Our aircraft carrier, I don't know why he's coming this way. Oh yes, that's right, he's being pushed by the Colorado that still hasn't been to CCAP, but our destroyer is going to do a lovely job of realizing, yes, the cap is wide open. Carrier slaps that cruiser there, and so we are going to go and put some fire out there as well. Paying attention to the minimap, because as the planes are flying, the carrier might spot the destroyer and he might be in my radar range, and that means that I can start shooting at him and give him a little bit of a tickle. He's dodging and weaving the carrier shells. Smokescreen isn't going to help you from my radar, Lahardy. Obviously somebody that's new to playing destroyers or doesn't understand the physics between radar and smoke screens, but he does disappear, gets away by the skin of his teeth, and I'm hoping now that our aircraft carrier will turn around and head in a different direction, preferably away from the destroyer. Now you may think that I am playing absolutely stupid here by pushing into this destroyer when I don't have sonar. But why is it stupid? Because the destroyer is low health. There's a good chance we might spot his torpedoes. The carrier can keep him spotted on the minimap. That Colorado is taking forever to get anywhere, which has given our destroyer the chance to get on CCAP. We've pulled a bit of a lead here now, and give or take the time remaining, we should have enough time on the clock to take a win, even if a ship dies. I'm still pushing this DD because even if that Colorado does come around the corner and kill something from our team, if I can get onto ACAP whilst I'm waiting for my radar to come off cooldown, then there's a good chance that we can guarantee the win. It really didn't look like it when we had that hard push on C at the beginning. Then we had the hard push through B cap. We had the absolute chickens run away from A cap and just got themselves killed. And now we are pushing back against A after taking care of the Bismarck and the cruiser. Our carrier is absolutely harassing this destroyer. I'm just doing a few little turns here and there. My head is absolutely splitting from a headache again, but thankfully I'm off to the opticians for an eye test this weekend if I'm well enough. Waiting for that radar to come off cooldown. We are playing risky business, and the torpedoes are going to be coming towards us, but for every set that we avoid... Oh look, he's popped his smoke screen again, and there he is. This is going to be the juiciest of kills for the fewest of hit points, and we are going to push onto the cab. Why he fired his guns, I don't know. Perhaps it was a distraction, but we do lose another ship, but they lose another ship, and that still gives us the advantage, but it isn't by much. We're going to open up that advantage. Lessons to learn from this game. For me, if you're in a light cruiser, watch when you're turning at the start of a game, and remember that yeah, you need to remember that some other cruisers do have radar as well, and that it doesn't pay to be broadside at the start of a game in a smokescreen, that you can't rely on your teammates to even try and defend a cap, and that the potatoes who run away from a cap will eventually get themselves, well, am I allowed to say killed? Should I say that they managed to completely unalive themselves by playing like absolute potatoes? Now you'll notice that the Brandenburg that spawned across there with us, that spent a lot of time in reverse, has now decided that as there are only two ships left in the game, the carrier and the Colorado, that he is going to get his brave pants on, and he's going to turn around and sail back towards the Colorado. Now I know that this aircraft carrier, told you my head was a muddle, this aircraft carrier is going to try and keep me reset, but we have nearly a 150 point lead now, and as long as that Brandenburg doesn't completely balls up, and yeah, and I don't die. But what I also didn't understand, and the guy who's in the destroyer, we were actually chatting after this game. He knows a few good friends and good players that I know as well. I couldn't understand how he didn't manage to kill the CV, but I'm guessing that when he ran in on the CV, that the CV started smoking as his started moving as his torpedoes were on the way. But the fact that the CV has come over and bombed me has saved him from getting bombed for the time being. We have 3 caps. Brandenburg there, he's going in against this Colorado, and yeah, again, he could have just rammed him and ended it for us. But the clock is ticking down through the last minute. It isn't a huge damage game. We did get First Blood, run just over 87,500 damage. We did get 3 kills. We did get 4 kill assists, because at times in the game I felt like I was shooting at absolutely everything. And it was a little bit dangerous. But you know me, I'm not one to try and shy away from a fight. I've got a great game coming up in a DD, and I've also got a couple of matches from Brawl that I might put in as highlights. But yeah, Brandenburg could have taken himself a kill by ramming that Colorado. I pick up a Dreadnought at the end of the game. This was the only game I needed to finish the campaign. 150 progression there to end it, and we get top of the board, which did really surprise me. I thought perhaps a top 3 finish, but I'll take top of the board any day of the week, especially in a ship that I don't play often. So just to prove that even the best of us, and I'm definitely not the best of us, we do make mistakes, but it's learning to recover from that mistake and then getting yourself back into the fight. Don't forget, smash that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.